How's it going, everybody? Spectre here, and we have, well, an inevitability. This was an inevitable decision made by Bioware, and it was made probably last week, but it was announced today. So let's just get right into it. Let's get over to here. Here is a blog post by Christian Daly, the executive producer of Anthem. It's done. it's just done. And there's no surprise there. There should be absolutely no shocked Pikachus running around right now going, oh my God, I didn't see this coming. Even the hardcore players, when this game came out, the people who pre-ordered the game, the people who tried to keep that interest alive, were saying the exact same things that I was saying. This game isn't going to last. This game is not going to survive long enough to be a hard hitter. And BioWare, well, it's BioWare's fault. This is one of the few times that I'm going to say it's not EA's fault, not completely at least. The vast majority of the problems are on BioWare, not EA. I know, sacrilege. But BioWare's been doing this thing where it's been cutting costs and cutting aspects of games unless you're paying them money. For example, Star Wars The Old Republic, sometime last year, I don't remember exactly when, but in Star Wars The Old Republic, if you're not paying a monthly subscription, you can't put in a ticket with customer support. I'm not even joking about that. You cannot put in a ticket for, say, somebody's harassing you, or you've got you've got something missing from your inventory. You've been hacked. You cannot put in, especially for hacked. You can't put anything for your account being hacked if you don't pay a subscription. That is fucking amazing, by the way. But they've been doing this thing where they've been cutting costs where they can, and unfortunately, player retention appears to be one of the things they've decided to cut. But Anthem is officially done. Christian has put out this screed. He starts off with, friends. In the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share that we've made a difficult decision to stop our new development work on Anthem, aka Anthem Next. We will, however, continue to keep the Anthem live service running as it exists today. Okay, so they're no longer, it's in maintenance mode. That's all it is. It's maintenance mode. It's just like Rift. There's no new development. They're keeping the live service going as is, but there's no new development. They're still going to try and suck money out of you because there is an RMT store with Anthem. They're still going to try and suck money out of you. That's what maintenance mode pretty much is for games like this. Since Anthem's launch, the team has been working hard to continually improve the game, releasing multiple updates that brought with them a variety of improvements and introduced new content to play. Towards the end of 2019, we expanded on that effort and started working on a more fundamental restructure of the game. So basically, they were trying to fix the very foundation of the game. The very foundation of the game was so screwed that they had to go back after the game was live to try to fix it. I just want you to think about that. Now, remember when Anthem first came out, you paid like $60 to $80 for the game, depending on if you wanted the basic game or you wanted the collector's edition. However, EA decided that they would open early access for a month if you paid for their subscription, kind of like a Steam subscription, where you had access to some games. You'd pay like $15 a month, you'd have early access to the game a month before it came out. So if you wanted to play Anthem when it technically came out, you paid $60. But if you wanted that extra month of play, and you really did want it if you wanted to be competitive, you honestly believe BioWare and EA when they said that this game was going to be some kind of competitive game. In order to do that, you had to pay another $15-20 in order to get it. So you really paid $75 to $95, not including tax, to play the game when it actually came out. And that was a fucking underhanded thing to do. Let me tell you, that's just like when Studio Wildcard with Ark decided that they would put out a DLC for their early access game while it was in early access. A full-priced early access DLC that was actually more polished than the base game. And they got blowback for that. And then this happens. And EA does that shit. And you wonder why people say EA is an absolute shit show. You understand now why BioWare and EA have the negative reputation they have. It's because they have continuously screwed up the most basic stuff, such as their games. This is what they're supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be a one-trick pony. We do video games. And they constantly fuck that up somehow. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. I am left speechless in awe of their ability to fuck up something as basic as putting out good games. But all AAA companies appear to be doing this. During the development, we've provided updates revealing some of the team's work through blog posts and conversations with you on social media, and it's been inspiring for us to see the positive reactions and feedback. I've been incredibly proud of the work the team has been doing and excited to see and play each new build of the experience. This is where you know it's PR bullshit. He's been excited and very proud of what they've been doing, so why are you canceling it? You claim to have had a roadmap the entire time. A roadmap for improving the overall game itself. But now you've cut it off. Why? Because it's not making money, because the player retention is low. They didn't keep a lot of the people who bought the game initially. In fact, there were a lot of people who were demanding refunds for the game. A lot of them. And EA tried everything they could to prevent those refunds. Oh, you played it for more than 2 hours. Kind of like pulling a Steam and shit like that. And it didn't really work for them. They didn't really succeed. They put out a lot of refunds for the absolute shitty state of the game. People went back to, GameStop when that was a thing in order to return their copies and demand a refund for it. And GameStop had to give full refunds. Some states actually required it. During the development, we've provided update. I already read that. 2020 was a year unlike any other. However, and while we continue to make progress against all our game projects at Bioware, working from home during the pandemic has had an impact on our productivity, and not everything we had planned as a studio before COVID can be accomplished without putting undue stress on our team. So, just like with Path of Exile, just like with a bunch of other games, the shitty state of the game is because of COVID. COVID has been a boon for shitty companies like this, because if something fails, well, guys, it's because of COVID. We had to work from home. Path of Exile's Heist League had a bunch of issues with it. The one before that, what was it? Harvest. Harvest was an absolute shit show of a league. It was the worst fucking league they have put out in God knows how long. Player retention was so low. It was the lowest point since I think it was Synthesis League, which was like a year or two before Harvest happened. And they blamed COVID. GGG blamed COVID for that. Oh, well, it's because of COVID. We had to work from home. Shit like that. COVID has been a boon for companies to be able to cut corners, cut costs, and then when it doesn't work like they think it should, they use that for pity bucks. That's exactly what it is. COVID is an absolute boon for companies like BioWare and GGG. They fuck up something, they go, blame COVID, not us, even though this has been going on for years. The lack of effort, the lack of detail, the constant quality control done by players who are paying or ask for money. Like, COVID cannot be the only reason that this is happening when it's been happening since before COVID. I mean, really, guys. Stop blaming COVID for everything. I mean, isn't COVID supposed to be getting better now because, Biden's in office or something? I don't fucking know. That's what we keep hearing, though. I know this will be disappointing to the community of Anthem players who have been excited to see the improvements we've been working on. It's also disappointing for the team who are doing brilliant work. They've been fired. They've been fired. The majority of that team has been fired, I guarantee it. And they're going to blame COVID. It's disappointing for the team who were doing brilliant work. They've been fired. And for me personally, Anthem is what brought me to BioWare, and the last 2 years have been some of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my career. Really? The last 2 years of this shit show have been the most challenging and rewarding experiences of your career? You need to not work in this field anymore. This has been the most rewarding experience of your career, and the end result is it's being stopped? You need to be fired, and you need to be told, don't ever work in game development anymore. That if this is the most rewarding it's ever been for you, you need a new field. And I would say learn to code, but your ability to code, apparently, you know how to, you're just really bad at it. I don't know where to tell you to go at this point. Game development is hard. I'd agree with that. Decisions like these are not made easy. Moving forward, we need to laser focus our efforts as a studio and strengthen the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect titles. That's where all the effort's going now. Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Forget the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda was shit. Dragon Age, hopefully they won't fuck that up. I think they will. They're putting the team that's left from Anthem onto that. Not holding out some good hopes for it. While continuing to provide quality updates to Star Wars The Old Republic, there has not been one quality update to Star Wars The Old Republic in God knows how long. Again, they cut off being able to put in a support ticket unless you're paying them $15 a month. Quality update. To the Anthem community, thank you for your passion and creativity. They had more passion and creativity apparently than you guys did. Your feedback and suggestions most certainly help shape the team's direction. Well, if that's the case with the game now going, the way of the dodo, maybe you should stop listening to the Anthem people. In fact, you should blacklist every person that you took feedback and suggestions from on that. Anybody you listen to, blacklist them. Don't ever listen to them again. And by the way, this is why you don't listen to every suggestion that comes down the pipe. Obviously, not everybody knows what they're talking about. I know that I bitch about a lot of games, Path of Exile, for example, but I also know that I'm not a developer. And so while I put in a suggestion, I don't expect it to be listened to because, again, I'm not a developer. The problem is that a lot of these companies listen to the streamers whose money is determined by the state of the game. And the streamers are going to talk about what's best for them, not necessarily what's best for the game itself. Path of Exile has been having this issue over the past couple of years where streamers are getting more input on the game's development than the regular players, and regular players stay around for a month and then they're gone. Streamers are really the only ones that stay. And on a personal note, your kindness and encouragement were much needed last year. Please stay safe and be kind to each other. Strong alone, stronger together. Whatever. And it should be noted that Christian's Twitter, he didn't even put it on here. He hasn't even put it on here, but he hasn't posted anything since February 5th, it looks like. So, hey, it's okay, whatever. But you can imagine how the subreddit is dealing with this. The 7-year plan of support that they had for Anthem. Now, whenever you see somebody say there's a 7-year plan for something, assume that there's the caveat of as long as it makes us money, as long as it's profitable. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, I paid $15 to play the game during early access, that 1 month early access. Never played it again. Wasn't the game for me. I feel really bad for anybody who purchased the game for $60 to $80 before the early access. Let's go to the actual subreddit. I believe in Anthem. Rest in peace, Anthem. I'm done probably forever. Yeah, so is Anthem. I swear to God, EA Bioware will not see another cent from me. Dragon Age is coming out. I think they're going to see another cent from you. And this is the problem with a lot of these companies that have established IPs. World of Warcraft, a lot of people stopped playing the game years ago. I admit that during Legion, I said, you know what, I'm done. The game is just not for me. They're not going to see another cent from me. I lied. I bought the, what was it, Battle for Azeroth, and I bought, what's the newest one? Shadowlands. Played for like a month of each, and then I was done. So, I say that I won't buy another World of Warcraft expansion. I'm probably not going to at this point, because if I'm spending a month, that doesn't justify $60 to $80 for me. It just doesn't. And I know people like to go, oh, well, you get your money's worth, like $1 an hour. I spent probably less than 20 hours playing Shadowlands. I haven't even hit max level. It's the exact same stuff. It's the exact same grind. It's not entertaining to me. I'm done. So, not worth it for me. Extreme unplayable rubber banding out of nowhere. Have they shut down some servers? Yeah, but you posted that 8 hours ago, so, maybe you didn't get the news. I mean, this is the subreddit. This is the subreddit. This is where the most active players are supposed to be. That's what they always told us. EA is the worst. Yeah, but I'm not going to blame EA for this. I'm not blaming EA for this. I'm blaming Bioware. Again, Bioware is the one who did not meet any kind of deadlines that they either self-imposed or imposed by EA. They never made them, to the point that EA actually fired the leadership of Anthem and replaced them, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Point is that this was an inevitability. It's just like with Elder Scrolls Online. I said during the first month that the state of the game would not be a mandatory subscription to play. It would probably be pay to play or free to play within a year. And something like 10 months later, they announced it was pay to play, not requiring a subscription. Although if you pay a subscription, you're good to go. You have to pay for the base game, but you don't have to pay for a subscription. But Anthem needs to be converted off live service so that we can continue to play once the servers are shut down. Never going to happen. Rip the best third-person combat shooter mechanic I've ever played. Okay, I'll grant you the third-person shooter was okay. The flight was actually really cool. I did like the flight, and I can't deny that. I liked that flight. I'll be the first to admit that. Disappointing but not unexpected, given EA is the studio. BioWare is the studio. EA is the publisher. I'm genuinely angry at this. I think everybody should be, especially if you paid for the game. You actually took BioWare at their word. Again, the 7-year plan for support made it 2 years. Rip Anthem until next time. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Don't be afraid to ask for a refund. You're not going to get one. Then 2 years, you're not getting a refund at this point. I think a lawsuit might have to happen. This is blatant false advertising that happened. I think it's gonna happen. Nobody's gonna get a cent, really. You might get a $10 coupon on your next EA purchase, but Anthem Next has been canceled, with staff moving over to other BioWare projects. Well, the staff that they decided to keep. Hopefully, they will at least leave all the seasonal content turned on permanently. I think that requires actual effort. Legion of Dawn Edition now on sale on the PlayStation Store. They're trying to milk money out of people, obviously, still. Rip Anthem, yada, yada. It should just be a free-to-play game at this point. Just make it free-to-play. So, there we go. There's what happens, what's going on with Anthem. It's shut down. No surprise. I don't think anybody at this point is surprised. Nobody should be surprised, at least. So, you got to hand it to BioWare. They know how to fuck it up. They know how to fuck it up, ladies and gentlemen. So, enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, the next game will be better than Anthem. But I'm not looking forward to any games really over the next year. None have really captured me as much as I had really hoped they would. So, especially when they can blame COVID for putting out a shitty game like everybody is at this point. So, with that being said, I'm Spectre. Thanks for watching.